For my lesson, I will be teaching a math lesson for first graders, and I will be teaching them basic addition and subtraction. This lesson will last around 4 days to allow the students time to study before the final assessment and give them time to practice and to understand the lecture. This lesson can be done in person, somewhat online, or fully online. A student will need access to a computer if any parts of it are online. And if I were teaching it, I would teach this lesson half online and half in person. So the learning objectives for my lesson are that the students will be able to correctly add and show their work of the equation they use to get the answer. The students will be able to correctly subtract and show their work of the equation they use to get the answer. And the students will be able to understand word problems and develop the correct equations to get the right answer. This instructional design model used in this lesson is the 5-component lesson model. And prior to this lesson, the kids just basically need to know how to count, and we will go from there. So for starters, I created a Google Classroom site, and it's titled First Grade Math. And you can see down here in this classroom, there's a topic section where I have addition and subtraction. So if you scroll down to the beginning of the module, I created addition and subtraction slides. So here are the slides. It takes you to a link to Google Docs slides. And here you can see it says addition and subtraction, and then I go through learning how to add, and then giving examples of how to add, and giving another example. And then I talk about subtraction and what subtracting is, and then I give 2 more examples. And I included pictures to keep it interactive, and then I tell the students to practice questions on their worksheet with a partner in class to take the remaining problems home for homework. And I also created a screencast of this lecture for kids to use online, and I uploaded it to the Google Classroom. And that is right here. So after the kids go through the lecture and are either in class when I explain it to them, then they can look at it online if they're confused, so they have access to the slides and me explaining it in the screencast. Then I will hand out a worksheet that they will partner up and work on basic addition and subtraction equations and also word problems. So they'll practice with a partner, and then whatever they don't finish will be for homework. And I've uploaded the addition and subtraction worksheet here. So this is their practice sheet, and I included 20 basic equation problems and 6 word problems for them to practice with. So I will grade that for homework, and then that is the activity. So following the lecture, they'll partner up, work on the worksheet. Whatever they don't finish will be homework. And this activity follows Bloom's taxonomy. They will learn new knowledge from the lecture, and they will comprehend the information on how to add and subtract. They will practice with the worksheet and apply their newfound knowledge. And through the practice, the students will be able to analyze and recognize trends in the math. And then finally, I will assess the students with word problems and basic equations, which allows me to evaluate their growth. So finally, if you go back to the main page, I have an assignment, which is the chapter test, which they will take in class. And this is a summative assessment at the very end of the lesson. It is a test, and it is a test basically over basic addition and subtraction, word problems, and equation problems that resemble the worksheet that they got to practice with in class. And the reason I only did a summative assessment is because it's such a small lesson plan and such a small chapter that I didn't feel like they needed quizzes or anything in between. So this test helps me evaluate if the students have met their learning objectives because, as you can see looking at it, there are basic addition and subtraction equations and basic addition and subtraction word problems. And here I'll be able to tell if the students are able to correctly add and show their work on the equation they use to get to the right answer, and see if they can correctly subtract and show their work of the equation they use to get the answer. And I can also see if they're able to understand basic word problems to develop their own equations to get to the correct answer. So that's my entire lesson. And for future improvements, I would create a Quizlet that can be uploaded to the Google Classroom that allows them even more practice and they can quiz and test themselves. So that's my entire lesson. Thank you.